Hello and welcome to this video on the PKN XD2500. I recently bought this amp from a company called PKN Digital, www.pkndigital.co.uk, and this is probably one of the best amps I've ever used. This is a black amp, as you can see. It's one unit, which fits quite nicely into a unit rack, and it only weighs 8 kilograms. So pretty much 8 kilograms, one unit, is ideal for touring. It's portable and it's got a rugged steel chassis. This amp alone's got high output power, intelligent protection features, and it's also got an embedded microcontroller, so it's always being monitored inside, and it's very efficient on power. Now, the power on this unit can range from 160 volts to 270 volts AC at 50 to 60 Hertz. So should you ever have this amp plugged into a generator, of course every now and then you may get the odd glitch in the power, but this amp will just see that and it'll just carry on as normal, because the voltage range is very flexible on this amp. And the maximum power consumption of this amp is 2600 watts. Also, it's got a thing called PFC, which is power factor correction. The speaker outputs, the power this gives out at 8 ohms is 700 watts per channel, and the power it gives out at 4 ohms is 1300 watts per channel, and these are both true RMS outputs. This amp can also run down to 2 ohms safely, so essentially you can have 4 8-ohm speakers running off this, because one 8-ohm speaker, 8 ohms, 2 8-ohm speakers make it 4 ohms. And what many people get confused is 3 8-ohm speakers don't make 2 ohms, but they make 2.66 ohms, which means you can add on another 8-ohm speaker, so 4 8-ohm speakers essentially make 2 ohms, which makes it safe to run this amp. The speak-ons on here, they output on all 4 pins, so you can use a 4-core cable on all your speakers, which will improve your sound quality a lot. Limiters on this amp, we have short circuit protection, we have overload protection, low impedance protection, thermal protection, and DC fault protection. Short circuit protection is where if one of the cables suddenly decides to short out, the amp will see this and it'll cut the power instantly to save damaging your amp. Overload, should you overload your speakers anyhow, then that'll cut out. If the amp detects low impedance, such as drops down to dangerous ohms like 1 ohm, no ohms, then the amp will see that and cut out. And DC fault, should the amp suddenly be giving out DC to your speakers, which is very harmful, then it'll instantly see that and it'll start cutting out. These, as you can see here, the amp is cooled by 2 DC regulated fans. So these fans aren't on a constant speed all the time, but they vary between high power and low power. So if you're just using it for background music, the fans happily just sit there. You'll hardly hear the amp at all. But should you come out blasting loud music, then these fans come on high power and cool as they need to. Over here we have the inputs and the link, and we have the speak-on outputs. The mains connection is done by PowerCon, so basically it's like a speak-on, but this one is very hard to pull out. So let's say if you're using IEC and someone tugged the cable, then that will come out pretty much easy, but with PowerCon, it goes in, clicks into place, and it's very hard to pull out and jerk out. Now when you turn this amp on, the fans go on full power for about 5 seconds, just to ensure that they're all working, and then the amp will stabilise and go down to its normal operating procedure. So let's turn it on. So as we can hear now, this is the amp at its normal running procedure. Nothing's going through at the moment, and as you can probably hear, you can't hear the amp at all, pretty much. You may hear the odd background noise of the fan, but this amp is very, very quiet. Up here you've got the lights saying ready, signal, and then you've got your level meters on the left and right for both channels. So this is the PKN XD2500, which was bought from PKN Digital. Their website is www.pkndigital.co.uk. If you want to demo these amps, PKN Digital will demo these for you, and they're really good prices as well for the amps. So I recommend that you visit their website and have a nose. Well, thank you for watching,